You may enter.
Knock, knock.
Greetings.
Hello. You wanted to see me?
You must be Miss Rosemary.
Oh,
My name is Jonathan Turner. Detective Copper is currently unavailable. Something unfortunately came up and he can be here right now. But he asked me to keep you company in the meantime. I apologize for the inconvenience. This sudden change of plans is quite rude. Hopefully he will join us soon. In the
where
meantime,
is Mr. Copper?
unfortunately that knowledge is currently unavailable to me. However, I am not here by accident. He did ask me to have a little chat with you, in case this happened. You see, me and Mr. Copper are associates. I do help him with certain cases here and there. As you might imagine, I have a decent amount of knowledge of what's been going on in this investigation. Regarding you, I actually know quite a lot about you. You're a fascinating person, Miss Rosemary.
I am quite ordinary. I think you'll find.
Your sisters, why you're here. None of it is my concern, of course. Nevertheless, I do find it quite extraordinary. But
Oh.
that is not what I'm currently interested in. I heard about this little seance, or perhaps something similar, to perhaps reach out and talk to your sister from beyond. My question is, why would you agree to that? You obviously care about your family and your loved ones, but your sister is gone. There is nothing to be gained from this ritual. Surely there is nothing that can bring her back. Otherwise, it would have been done already, wouldn't it?
I don't need her to come back. She died a long time ago. What's dead should stay dead.
In that case, why would you allow Detective Cooper to convince you to bring her back this way from her eternal rest? Whatever that might be, just to satisfy his curiosity? Regardless how much pain it could cause you to see her again? Or is that perhaps your curiosity you're trying to satisfy here? I wonder.
She already speaks to me through the mirrors.
So it has no real effect on you, or your mental state?
Well, as I lay down to sleep of a night, she screams in my ear like a toddler.
It matters not. What matters is, what you're doing is quite brave. You're sacrificing a lot for this man you barely even know.
Well, he is trying to take us back somewhere that we do not need to be, to someone who will eventually use us and kill us.
I see. So in a way, you're just protecting your sisters, yet again, helping Detective Copper.
Yes, All I want is for them to be safe. They have lived a hard life.
That's quite a burden on your shoulders. I wonder, what does Rosemary do for fun? And does she even know the meaning of that word? Or is it perhaps gone now, replaced by the overriding sense of duty? Or is it the primal instinct of self-preservation that is fully in charge? Perhaps a bit of both. Regardless, it takes great strength to survive this for so long. You do have my respect. But even the mightiest of trees can be taken down by a dull axe in time. Wouldn't you think?
What are you saying? That I'm going to collapse in a heap one day, filled with my burden?
It is highly probable. It wouldn't be the first time.
It would be a first for me.
We all have our breaking points. Which one do you think is yours? You don't have to answer it, of course. Many of us can live our lives day by day. And we will never find out, hopefully. Others, they try their best to confront themselves, to perhaps challenge themselves, to figure this answer out. It's good to be prepared, especially for the worst.
I always prepare for the worst.
I suspected as much. This was most riveting.
My sisters.
Please, go on.
My sisters aren't exactly the careful type.
So I heard.
They require cleaning up after every now and again.
The joy of being the oldest sibling. It's like taking care of puppies sometimes. They can be cute, but they still bark. They can cause a lot of mess. One needs to be very strong and responsible to take care of them. They can be self-destructive at times. Unreasonable. Yet, all the care is worth it in the end. Because they will do the same for you.
There's not much they wouldn't do if I asked them.
You hold power over them. But not in a...
I would do the same for them.
How does that make you feel? Are you perhaps concerned that some of your actions might put them in jeopardy? Or do you believe that your judgment will take you through this period of trials and tribulations? In the end, the only person who you can really trust is yourself, isn't it?
I am worried things from my past may hurt them in the future, yes.
Unresolved events from the past, haunting us in the present, affecting us in the future.
Yes.
Of course, many deal with similar issues, but Very few have encountered difficulties like this in such a magnitude. I will not ask you about this person you're running away from. I can only imagine you're either sick talking about him or you don't wish to remember it. All you need to know is that you need to keep running away.
Unfortunately, it is hard to forget.
It certainly is. This whole existence must serve as a constant reminder of him. Well,
Mm.
let us hope that he is suffering from similar concerns. I can only imagine that if he wants you this bad, he must be missing something. He must feel deprived. And when someone is in a similar state, they are prone to making mistakes. You see, when you corner someone, when you deprive them of what they want the most, they start lashing out. What was once a cold and calculated approach will soon turn into a frenzy. Perhaps that will be your opportunity to get rid of him for good. You can keep running away from your problems forever, but in the end, either your own mistakes, or perhaps the frenzy of the one who's after you will get you.
Perhaps.
Would you agree that sometimes the best defense is offense?
Sometimes.
But not always. You have too much to lose. Your sisters, what would they do without you?
He is very powerful. Sometimes it's easier to hide than face it.
Power can be deceiving. When we wield too much of it, we become blind to obvious threats. Perhaps that will be your opportunity one day. Him underestimating you. Your desire for freedom, protection of your sisters.
It's more a desire to not die. If we stay there with him, he will eventually use us, and we will eventually die because of it. I can't let that happen.
Naturally. I am not aware of the mechanics how this draining or siphoning works, but I can only imagine it is something you and your sisters wouldn't be able to survive, at least not for long.
The three of us have certain gifts, and as with any magic, it comes at a price. You need to rest and recover in between. If someone pushes you and doesn't allow you to rest, there are dire consequences.
Extreme conditions like this can certainly manifest in extreme results if you push the subject far enough. Perhaps that is what he's trying to achieve. Have you ever considered that this has been his plan all along? Letting you run away from him? Over here, still trying to hide from him, sending this envoy, Detective Copper, to basically serve as a reminder, yet another one, of his power, control over you. Have you ever considered that all of this is just a part of his plan? You are at the peak of your powers, aren't you?
Perhaps.
Just something to consider. You seem like a smart person, Miss Rosemary. Keep your eyes peeled. All your senses need to be at the height of their receptive powers. Otherwise you might miss what's right ahead of you. I do hope things will work out for you. Please, if you see Mr. Copper, give him my regards. Unfortunately, I must be going now. This was certainly most riveting, and I thank you for your time. Fortunately, it looks like it will take a bit longer to get here.
What did you say your name was again?
Jonathan Turner.
Well, it was a pleasure, Mr. Turner.
The pleasure was all mine. Take care, Miss Rosemary.